Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. Okay, so I am working on taking apart this and then getting it put back together. Like I said before in the last video, this is a little golden book, but it's different from this sort of little golden book. This little golden book comes with 2 signatures. When you take it apart, there's 2 signatures in there. These kinds of little golden books have 1 signature. They look like that. So it was in there just like this in 1 signature. So I am taking them apart in order to make them into 2. So I'm going to show you, I stopped what I was doing so I could, show you what I was doing. So I'm taking the pages and I'm just cutting the tiniest little bit. I'm getting rid of that little perforated fold because I don't want to sew through that. That's, to sew a signature together through that. And then I am taking it and then laying it out like this. And then this is the last page. I hope that I got them back in order. This is center, so I don't think I need to squish it down. I'm just, like I said, taking off the tiniest little amount. Okay, so now I have 2 signatures. Otherwise, I was going to end up with 1 really fat signature. If you see here, I've been going through and adding papers. Can you imagine that being just 1 signature and what that would look like in over here on the spine when it's all sewn together? That would look kind of funny, I think. So I figured I would do this. So then how do I make it into a signature? I'm going to try and squish these little things down a little bit. Out of the way. That's where the threads were holding the signature together. Don't want them to be poking up. Okay, so I just went in and found in my scrapbook paper a color that I thought would go. It's kind of a yellowy green, and I just felt like that's going to go, I think, fine. And it's also a nice feeling. It's not cardstock, but it's not real thin. I feel like it's going to be a good, so I want the top and the bottom. I feel like it's going to be a good, thickness to be able to sew through it. And so now I just have to put them together like that. I'm going to do the first signature with you, and then I will do the second one. Of course, it's going to have a clog. And of course, I have nothing to wipe my fingers on because why would I? Of course, I'm going to try and get no glue in the center of my fold. I did use my scoreboard and scored these so that they'll be easy for me to fold into. So it's really gray outside. We've been having nice spring days, not too sunny the last couple days. I mean, can you have too sunny? No, hasn't been very sunny, but it's been springy, so I can't complain about that. But today it is rainy, and I suppose we need that too. But you know how the forecast is so reliable. Yes, that is sarcasm. it said the other day that Thursday and Friday, today is Friday, that we would get some rain. And then that disappears from the forecast. It's like, never mind, I was wrong, no rain. Then it just shows clouds. And of course, it's raining. So why didn't they just stick with their first, I don't know. I don't get that. So that's my first page. Then I'm going to take the next. So this is the one we're working from. So I'm going to take this one and the bottom one and make another full page. Now, you could do it differently. As long as you're keeping the pages in order, you could add really any page as long as you're keeping the pages in order. But I just thought I would do this because, oh, I don't know, it seemed easier to me. So my mom is doing well. She has doctor's appointments, you know, kind of here and there, following up, having, you know, checking on her to see what her progress is. And I believe I told you in the last video that she is not making very quick progress. And they told her that she could be in the facility for another 4 to 6 weeks. And she was like, what? You know, she was thinking, well, honestly, she should have been home already and walking, according to the doctors. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So they told her 4 to 6 weeks, and she's like, oh my goodness. But at the progress that she is making, that, you know, 4 to 6 weeks sounds, you know, possible, because she's making such slow progress, because she's afraid. And I understand that. Okay, so that's my next page. There is a line in here in between, but you know, that's okay, because there's going to end up being a page in here in between anyway. So after she had spoken to, you know, the people there at the rehab facility, you know, they had a little meeting, you know, talking about, you know, what to expect in the future and stuff. So then she also had a follow-up appointment with her doctor that day. And he said, well, 4 to 6 weeks sounds about right at this rate, but there is no reason why you shouldn't be walking. And he said, it's all up to you. You can go home quicker than that if you put the effort in, you know. And that she needed to get over the fear of the, you know, she's afraid of falling. She's afraid that she's going to break what they fixed. And they keep on telling her, you're not going to break what you fixed. So anyway, that next day, I believe it was, which was yesterday, she walked farther than she has the entire time that she's been in rehab. Like, she walked really far. I am shocked. I wouldn't have thought she could do that. And I've been one, you know, trying to get her to, not trying to get her to do more, but thinking she could. I haven't been there in a little while, so I'm not trying to get her to do anything, but they are. And I was thinking she could do more if she would overcome the fear. Well, I think with what they told her and the fear of being in the rehab place, because she's bored out of her mind, when she's not doing rehab, she doesn't have anything to do. And so, anyway, she walked really far yesterday. So that is good, and she was very proud of herself. Alrighty. So now we have a signature as if it were one of the other little golden books. I didn't fold that one real well. I'll fix it, but anyway. So then there will be the center of that signature. I am going to do the same thing now with this set. Okay, so I got them done. I got them put together. So I have 2 signatures instead of 1. Really cute images in this book, I think. Alrighty, so now these I'm going to be adding to them. I'll show you what I have done so far in this other one. So I sat here in the last couple of days and added papers. This is going to be a pocket. I just haven't done that yet. And then, you know, like I have them here, I haven't done, you know, sewing and a lot of gluing and all that kind of stuff, or decorating. It's just kind of the start of it. So I have Anton's Papers digital kit incorporated, and then scrapbook paper. I've been trying to use my punches. Little golden books are perfect for all the different paper punches that you can use. And so that I didn't have to think too much, I kind of followed the same pattern that I did in the first signature, just using different pages. Isn't that cute? So cute. So I have a lot of work to do now, adding some stitching and then making all the things to go in the pockets. However, before I do that, I have to do the same thing now for this second journal. And I'm doing 2 journals because these kits are really big. And so I'm kind of splitting it up between the 2, and I feel like I'm still gonna have pages left over. So that is where I am so far. I think, I'm not sure what I'm going to add to the end of this video, but we'll see. Hi guys, it's been days for me, and I've been a little bit procrastinating. Is that a word? No, it isn't, but you know what I mean. I worked on putting pages together for quite a few days, and I finally have them all done. I don't have anything in pockets or anything like that. I'm going to try not to shove these too full. I always say that, and I am telling myself this time I am not going to do it. I thought now what I would do next with you, I had to look back to see what the last 2 little bits were that I videoed. And so here I am with, I cleaned them. And now I'm going to be putting them together. So this time what I'm doing, I'm going to use this fabric. It was gifted to me. I don't remember who by, but if you see it and it's familiar to you, thank you so much. I'm going to use that for the inside. I'm using this one on the outside. But I'm going to be covering the signatures. So you know, that where you sew in the signatures, I'm going to be covering that with this. So this is what we see. I don't know why, I just feel like that's what I want to do with this one. Not really any big reason. With the other journal, the fabric is really busy, and I felt like a lot of times on the little golden book journals, I like to put buttons, but the fabric is really busy and I don't think it'll look right, but maybe it would. I don't know. So I just thought I got in my head that that's not what I was going to do this time, so I'm not going to do it. Anyway, so this one, like I said, I think I said before, it's really shiny, and so I thought I would use some sandpaper on it. I had some fine grit sandpaper, and I tried, but it didn't really take any shine away at all. So I thought, I sent my husband out to get some heavier grit. What I'm planning to do is just sand right here in this area. There's actually a little coating of plastic on it. I don't know if you can see that little air bubble right there. It just kind of shows that there's plastic covering it. And I'm just afraid that my glue isn't going to hold my fabric down if I don't do something. This may shake the camera, so I'm sorry about that if it does, but I wanted you to see what I was doing in case this isn't something that you've done before. It's always nice to build your nerve by watching somebody else do something, you know? See the plastic there coming off. And I just need to give it some tooth. Sorry if it's shaking or noisy or irritating, but I just wanted you to see. So it's actually really, really rough now, and I am comfortable that it will hold glue. And so I am going to do the next one. Get all the stuff off and make sure that, yeah, that's good. Okay. Made a little mess. And once again, I did not bring with me a paper towel. So let's try and scoop this into my trash can. Okay, so next, putting this together. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. So let's see. I have delicious tea that I'm drinking. You guys, it's so good. I got it off of Amazon. I don't know if it says what it is. Oh yeah. It's so yummy. Okay. So I'm wanting to glue this, leaving quite a bit of space here because they're sticking out so much. And that's fine, but and I can always add ruffle and stuff like that to cover it up. But if I add a little bit more fabric, you see a little bit more fabric, it'll give more coverage to the edge. I do also plan on putting a ruffle or something on the edge. I think, I'm not totally sure, but I think that's what I'm planning to do. Now I noticed when I put my fabric down on top that you could kind of see the different color paper, and I don't know that I want that. And I did not make it. How did I not make it big enough, you guys? You know how many times I measured that? Maybe I was thinking, maybe that's too big. I don't know. Okay, I measured. I did. Okay, I think I know what I was thinking. I need to make sure that's right side up. I was thinking that I was going to take something else and put it here. I need to find that something else now, though, don't I? So let me look through. It might be paper, and it might be a lace or something like that. Let me see what I can find. All right, so what I decided to do, I tried some of this kind of trim, eyelet, whatever it's called. And I didn't like the way that looked. And so I decided to use cardstock and a paper punch. And now it'll look like that. And I think that's good. Right? That's good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down this way so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. So you guys, what I do is fabric, and I do heat and bond. I got this one at Walmart. I found that it is cheaper at Walmart than at the craft stores. I did not realize that. I had been buying it at Hobby Lobby for a long time. And you know how Hobby Lobby used to have the 40% off coupons. So it was a great deal then. And I would just either buy it on sale or use a coupon. And I think I've only purchased it once since the coupons went away. But I was all out on the last journals I was working on, so I had to run and buy some. And I went and looked at Walmart, and they have it. Well, I think it was after I actually purchased some, I realized that Walmart has it cheaper than what I bought at Joann Fabric anyway. I haven't looked at Hobby Lobby in a while, so I don't know. Anyway, I used that, and then I used tissue paper. Now, not everybody uses tissue paper, but I do because I feel like it gives a barrier that the glue doesn't seep through as easily, because the glue seeps through the heat and bond. I'm going to try and center this. Looks pretty good, I think. Might have been a good idea to put white paper on the back side of the cardstock, but that's all right. It's kind of thin fabric. Everything is showing through it pretty easily. Okay, and then I would put this here. So I'm thinking it's not dry, so I can scoot it. Maybe I should measure a little bit. So I'm measuring to the edge of my heat and bond. It's just over an inch. Or 2.5. That's about right, judging by the middle. I don't know if I was in where you could see. Of course, I don't know how, you know, when fabric is never quite right, you cut it or whatever the case may be, and it's always just a little one way or the other, like a little off. Okay, I am going to put my glue on the heat and bond, and then maybe just a little, no, I'm just going to do the heat and bond, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if I'll stick something underneath the edge of my fabric. Once it's on the front of the book, I might put something underneath the edge of the fabric for decoration. So I'm just going to leave that as it is for right now, no glue. That is going to be, what am I doing? It's this, how does it go? It goes like this. So this is the back, right? Yes. Well, it's not going to dry right away, so I can pull it off if I need to. Well, see, that's the back. That'll be the front. I should have laid that down. Now I have to wait for the glue again. I've been watching different kinds of videos on YouTube lately. Sometimes when I don't know if you guys get overwhelmed by craft videos. I want to try everything, and I know that I don't have time to try that while I'm working on something else, and so it stresses me out. Isn't that silly? Oh, the things that can stress a person out. Anyway, so I've been watching videos of people who are buying houses and renovating them on their own, not like an HGTV situation. I'm so over HGTV. I remember loving it when I was in my 20s. I don't know how long the channel's been around, but man, I loved that channel. I wanted to do all the things, but now I feel like everything that's on there is, you know, the same. Like they just do the same thing over and over again. It gets old. And so I'm watching where these people are buying vintage homes because, you know, everybody loves a vintage home, right? Okay, so there we go. I'm not going to be able to sew my signatures in yet. You guys, I did that wrong. Did you know it? You totally knew it, didn't you? Oh my goodness. I totally did that wrong. Now I have to clean up a mess. Oh man. When this glue hasn't, I was like, that doesn't look like the right fabric. When this glue hasn't dried yet, it rolls off pretty well. So yeah, there's one set of videos I was watching yesterday of somebody who bought a house up in, what was the name? Oh goodness, I've heard the name so many times. Well, up in Canada. I can't remember the name of the area. Okay. Doggone it. And the house that they bought there and all the work that's going to be happening, you know, on it. And then today I was watching one that is in Florida. It's fun to watch. Something different. I know I've said this before. I love projects, but I'm really kind of out of projects in my house. Everything's sort of done. I could always do yard work or something like that, but I don't want to. There's always painting, but I don't want to. This is supposed to be the inside. This is up. This is up. So I want this to be here. And I want this to be here, right? So let me do it like this. I'm gonna go like that and like that, so I get them on there the right way. It's good for you guys to see goofs, right? It's a good thing. And it happened in time that I could yank it off. I'll go ahead and do both sides. So I've said before, my husband is into cars. He loves cars. Vintage, not classics. I mean, man, they used to say that a classic car was more than 50 years old and a vintage car was like 25 years old or something like that. Talking about car stuff. And now the things that were like the muscle cars, now they're 50 years old. So I don't know how they categorize them these days. But anyway, he likes the muscle car type of old cars. And he's got more than he needs. But he's building onto his shop, so he has more space to work on them. So the guys have been out doing that. like he's hired someone to do it. He's not doing it. But the guys have been here for a couple weeks now. And there we go. That was the intention all along. Perfect. Now let's see how the pages fit in there. They are these pages. That should be good. That should be good. I like that fabric. All right, so I'm going to have to wait to sew in the signatures now until that dries. So these ones go with these ones. I'm going to move that out of the way and see about the next one. So I have the same situation, just different fabric. This is the front, this is the back. This one is the inside fabric. And I don't know, let's see if it's big enough. Barely, but it is. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to have to figure this one out. Okay, so you guys saw what I did. I'm going to do the same thing here, and then I think I'll come back and show you just them sewn in. Okay, let's see what we can get done here. I have the signatures sewn in on both of them. And now we're going to put on the cover. And I added some of this to this one, and I added some of this to this one. Let's go ahead and get gluing. I'm using the Fabri-Tac. I'm not sure if I have Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix. It's Fabri-Tac. I just looked at the bottle. And I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to put a lot. It's going to take a minute to dry, but that's okay. I go through kind of a lot of this stuff. I'm going to put some here. I would like for them to stick together, the fabric, you know, to stick together right in those places. I have a hard time actually accomplishing that a lot of times. So it's been quite a while since I did the video earlier. I seem to be in no real hurry to get anything done these days, but you know, I guess that's okay. I don't think that there's a one way or the other that's correct on this, so I'm just gonna lay it on there. Let's see where you guys are in the camera. And then kind of get an idea here where it is. See if it's good. Now it is going to cover up part of the title, but it's not the end of the world. I just want it to be fairly even. Again, when you're tearing fabric, and I think it's more important for it to be even on the front than the back. Okay. So then this is the part where I always have a hard time. Like I want those two to touch, those fabrics. I don't know. Okay, before I get too far here, I'm just going to go ahead and put more glue here. And I can see where my fabric stops. I can see the yellow through this, so I'm just going to go to the yellow part. A lot of times when I've done this, I end up sitting the books, I prop them in this way, like this, and I just let them sit and dry. But I'm gonna like push on it a little bit here. So I might still add rickrack on here. If I can find some blue rickrack, I think it'd be really cute. And then we'll see about this, if I wanna, you know, glue that down at all, or if I wanna leave it so you can see the HO for the home. It'd be cute if I had buttons that were just the right size, but I don't. All right, so I'm gonna do the other side a little bit, and then I'm gonna let it sit while we glue the outside on the other one. I hope I have those right. It feels good and, you know, as it should be in the right spot is what I'm trying to say. Of course, when I mess with one side, I feel like it moves the other. Okay, so on the inside, that's what that one looks like. I'm going to leave this like this, and we'll glue the other one on, and then I think I'll prop them up and let them sit and dry. The inside. Did I show you the inside? I'll just go ahead and show you the inside now. So the inside of that one looks like that. I'm supposed to go have dinner with McKenna, my son's wife. They're still waiting to get her moved to him. You know, they got married while he was home for Christmas, and she still isn't moved down there. They have all their paperwork in finally, but that's been for like a month. It takes a while to get all the steps done because you have to wait for one thing to do another thing. But they finally got all of that done, and she still isn't down there. But he's got quite a while of school left, so that should, you know, she'll get down there and still, it'll still be worthwhile, you know, moving her there with the length of time he still has left in his schooling. Isn't that cute? Okay. Well, I'll just do this. Quit being so fussy, Stephanie. It's not going to dry before I get it down. This stuff takes a while to dry, so it's not that big of a deal. Especially when you put so much on there. But you know, I don't want it to come apart. Kind of made a mess on the thing. I got so much glue on it, it doesn't want to close now. Okay. The fuzzy duckling. Okay. Probably not very exciting for you guys to watch. I'm sorry if this is getting boring for you now. I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to prop them up. I'm just trying to make sure the glue is good and like where it needs to be as much as I can. Okay, so I am going to set them up like this and let them dry for a while. So I will see you next time. Bye.